Welcome back to Grandpa's Time. Hey grandkids, I hope you're having a good day. I'm pretty busy with a project today, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I'm doing. I'm refinishing my picnic table, and the reason I'm refinishing it is because I didn't do a very good job the first time. And so I built a picnic table 2 years ago, and I'll try to show you some pictures of that too. But when I built the picnic table, I stained it, and then I needed to put some polyurethane on it that kind of seals it and protects it. But I used this stuff that comes in a spray can and just spray painted a couple of coats on it. It's hard to really tell when you're spraying that stuff on how well you're doing it. And then it turned out that when I looked closer, that was an interior polyurethane and not an exterior polyurethane. So I got the right stuff this time, and doing 3 coats of the urethane once I get the table all stained. So anyway, it's not a interior project, and it's just a picnic table, but I do want to do a good job. So to start off, I sanded it, and then I started off with 80 grit sandpaper, and then I worked up to 120 grit sandpaper, and then 150. So what I should have done is I should have probably used 60 grit to start with and taken off a little more material. With the 80 grit, it took a little longer, and I was using a rotary sander, a small palm sander. I'll show you that here. It's a orbital sander. When you use those sanders, you don't want to push down. You want to just let the sander do the work. And it would have not taken as long to have started with 60. But you don't want to make too big of jumps with your sandpaper. So if I used 80, I wouldn't have wanted to go from 80 to 150. There's got to be something in between there. And also, I don't want to make it, I don't want to make it a surface that you can just ice skate on. It's super slick. So my grandson's upset he's getting a bath right now. One of you grandsons is getting a bath right now. That's what that noise is. Anyway, so yeah, figure it. I went from 80 to 120. I think that's about. I think it was 120. I'll post the pictures here. That's about as. So you want to half it. So if it's 80, you can go 40 more up. So 120. I wouldn't have wanted to go like any higher than 120. And then from 120, you half that. So I could have gone up to maybe 180. But I just did 150 because it's a picnic table and it doesn't have to be ice skating smooth. It just has to be smooth enough that you don't get splinters when you sit on it. Next, I applied a coat of this stain here. Black walnut. It's darker, doesn't show up as much stuff. I just like the color. I thought it was a nice color. And I applied one coat and then I looked at it the next day and I'm not too worried about any big drips, but I had one really big drip that I couldn't stand looking at. So I sanded it back out a little bit. And reapplied stain. And then I put another coat of stain on the entire top and the bench seats and any spots. Pretty much kind of lightly went over a few spots where I could still see lighter wood. So I did that. That took a couple days because this stuff says it dries in an hour, but it didn't dry in an hour. And it was a pretty warm day. It was 80 degrees all day, but it took most of the day for the first coat to dry. So I didn't do the second coat until the next morning. Anyhow, got that done, and then I realized that I needed to drill a hole through the top for Grandma's umbrella because she wants her standing umbrella to be poked out of the covering the picnic table, kind of. This hole was a little bigger than I would have liked, but it's okay because the base of the umbrella is pretty heavy, so it's mostly just a hole to stick through. I would have made a smaller hole if it needed to, if I was actually using the table to support the umbrella also, but I'm not. So just to recap what I did, I sanded with 80 grit, then I sanded with 120 grit, then I sanded with 150 grit. Okay, then I wiped the table down, made sure there was no sawdust on it, and then I put a coat of stain on it. Then I realized that I forgot to cut the hole for Grandma's umbrella. So I cut the hole. Then I stained it again, including the hole. I sanded back out one large drip and cleaned it up so it looked nicer because it was right on the side that everybody was going to see it. I don't care about little ones inside too much because it's just a picnic table, but I did care about this one big drip. So I sanded it back out, restained it. Once I got the second coat of stain on it, the next day I put some urethane on it, and I'm going to do 3 coats of that all together. And right now I'm letting the first coat dry. So that's it for now. I will show you the finished product once I get all three coats of urethane on it, and Hopefully it'll hold up longer than 2 years. That's how long it held up last time, but it's because I used the wrong stuff. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. I'm going to do another video in the future where I talk a little more about stains and paints, because I want to talk to you about how to pick one. But I'm going to save that for another video. I've talked long enough. Thanks for watching.